So we created a solid ground surface with grass grids, and in the area where the horses stand a lot, because that's where they eat, for example, or also the area where they lie down, we've covered them with rubber mats. So I basically laid them continuously from the loose boxes through the stable walkway and back into the loose boxes, because I also use the stable walkway a bit as my workspace. And that way, I can also bring a horse inside when it's raining, or something like that, to treat it. For example, we often do hoof care on there too, because it's obviously easier for the horses when they're standing completely straight and level. That way, they can easily balance themselves during hoof care. And for treatment, it's the same. I often do passive mobilizations, where I have to hold up one leg, lift a hoof, or do stretching exercises. The straighter and more stable they are standing on their other 3 hooves, the easier it is for them to relax and go along with it. Yes, I have the Belmondo Classic. Those are interlocking mats, and they meet all the criteria I was looking for. That means they're very slip-resistant and provide great traction. They have a certain thickness, so they provide good insulation. But they're not so soft or spongy that the horses would feel unsteady standing on them all night, or anything like that. We basically wanted a system that would be very gentle on the horse's joints. And of course, also comfortable for them to lie down on. So when it comes to the joints and all that, it's just important that the horses can stand on it straight and level. For lying down, insulation is really important to me. We've also found that insulation is important for the joints. You can really feel the difference if you stand on concrete yourself or something like that. After a while, you really start to feel the cold creeping into your joints. And with these mats, they just insulate really, really well. That means you just don't get that cold feeling in your joints. And of course, when the horses lie down, the insulation is also very comfortable for them while they're lying there. So it's much more comfortable for them than lying on a cold floor. For lying comfort, it's absolutely essential that the horses know they have grip when lying down and getting up. Then, of course, another really important topic for us is fresh air and hygiene. Since we always have horses with asthma here, and we also have a very open stable concept, I can keep them very clean, so they're very hygienic. I don't have any mold growth, bacteria buildup on them, or ammonia smell, or anything like that. It was really super easy to install. So nothing had to be glued or screwed down, or I didn't need any edges, borders, or anything like that. We could just lay these interlocking mats next to each other and cover the whole area. In places where we maybe had some corners or edges or something, it was pretty easy to just cut them so they fit perfectly. So we had it all laid out in a short amount of time, and above all, we really hardly needed any tools at all, or anything like that for it. So we had a rubber mallet, we had a knife for cutting if we needed to adjust something a bit somewhere, and then we just joined them together and tapped them in place a bit with the rubber mallet. And that was really all we needed for it. From my point of view, it definitely makes sense to have a bit of bedding on top. But it's actually a lot less than you would normally need if you didn't have mats underneath. I always need bedding that's suitable for horses with allergies. So that already rules out a lot of options. But I've been really happy with wood shavings. And what we have right now, our concept is kind of that our horses are allowed to pick through their hay. So for us, it's actually intentional that they also learn for themselves what to eat and what maybe not to eat, because it might not be good for them. And accordingly, we always have a little bit of leftover hay. And since we always feed treated hay, in other words, it's washed, steamed, somehow made safe for allergy sufferers, we end up using it as bedding. And in any case, we completely muck out everything, at least once a day. These mats are also super easy and quick to clean. We always just push everything off with a shovel. We specifically designed the stable so that we can push everything out of all the loose boxes into the walkway. Then we go over it again with a broom, and then we simply add fresh bedding. That way, we can have all the loose boxes completely clean in no time. So, we really haven't had any issues with acceptance. When our horses moved in, they all immediately went on it, stood on it, and ate on it. All of them also slept on it the very first night. But I should mention, our horses were already used to a mat system like this before. But of course, I regularly have rehab horses here that have never experienced this before. And so far, every horse we've had has done really well with the system of rubber mats and just a little bedding on top. They've all managed to get really good sleep, with no signs of fatigue from standing, or any noticeable signs of needing to relieve pressure or anything like that. Everyone has done really, really well on it. They've been able to recover.